All right, hello everyone. We are just getting things set up real quick here. We will get the show kicked off here in just a minute. Okay. Matthew says, "Ew, Judge, I'm leaving." No, Matthew, you're not going to want to miss this one. This is a good one. This is a good one here. So let's see. We'll just wait and let the chat build up here just a little bit and get some people in here, as this is the last episode here that we're going to be doing live in 2018. We are going to be doing things a little bit differently, a little bit different next year. So we might not be doing as many live streams. This might be a more post-produced thing. So we want to make sure that this one is a good one. We want to make this a great episode. We want to make sure we have lots of people, and we're really going to enjoy ourselves here. So I'm just getting this shared over on Facebook. If you feel so inclined to share it as well, be my guest. I much appreciate any and all liking and sharing and everything like that. That's much appreciated. We will get the show kicked off here in just a minute. Hopefully Matthew's not actually gone. Anthony better have his Judge Judy robe on or I'm out. Yes, that's true, Bobby. That was a very unphotoshopped picture for sure. That's 1000% me and exactly how my hair looks right now. I just got a message from my mother asking when the show was going live. Come on, Mom. You got to be on top of it like all the people that we already have in here. I see Randy, Marty, Landon, Justin. We got a bunch of people in here already. We're just going to let it build up a little bit more. Don, what's up? I recognize Don's name. Don coming out every week. Recently switched to the Maiden, but my wife puts with the Judge. Don, you and I both. I recently switched to the Maiden as well, and I am loving it. That is a super, super good disc. I throw that thing pretty much anytime there's not a strong headwind. Anytime I just want to throw something straight, I'm going to throw a Maiden for sure. For anyone that doesn't know, that was the Trilogy Challenge disc this year from West Side Discs, and it is super, super good. What's up, Jonathan? The buildup is killing us, says Justin. Team Maiden, let's go. Matthew is still here. All right, so Matthew's still here. Looks like everyone else is still here as well. So we'll go ahead and get everything kicked off here. Team Judge, Team Maiden, of course. Send me a shout out so I can be YouTube famous. Brian Robertson, you're famous, dude. How's it feel? Used it in my first putting league last night and was only 1 point out of second place. Dang. You actually, in today's video here, we'll go ahead and get me on the screen so you guys can see me. It seems like what people want, right? In the clips here that we're going to be showing in today's episode, I actually was using a Judge for the first time in a very long time. Danny and I were filming for it was a starter pack video where he used one starter pack, I used the other, and then we played each other. So be on the lookout for that coming pretty soon. It should be really good. We had a great time. But I was using a Judge for the first time in a very long time. And I birdied a hole that I don't think I've ever birdied before. It's one that Danny has never birdied before, using a prime truth and a prime Judge. So that was pretty exciting. So yes, using a putter for the first time is very nice, kind of breaks things up and what's the right word? Not breaks the monotony, but kind of gets you out of your own head, I think. So we will actually go ahead and kick off the show now for real. We do have plenty of people in here, so welcome everyone to episode 27. This is the final episode of 2018, and we're kind of planning things a little bit differently for 2019, so this might be the last time that we're actually doing one of these live. So hopefully everyone that wanted to come in and join in on the live stream is here in the chat interacting with everyone. I see a bunch of people. Justin, Jed, Landon, Brian again, Sam. We got a lot of people in here. So if you were not here, unfortunately, you may have missed your last opportunity to be here for a live stream. You may have not. We will still keep the show going. We will still keep doing this in 2019, but we're thinking we might change things up a little bit. Obviously, this episode is going to be on, I figured, the last episode of 2018. We should throw it back to one of the first discs, right? So I went with one of the first discs, one of the most popular discs in the entire Dynamic Discs lineup. This is the Judge. The Judge was the first putter that we ever came out with, and still to this day is up there as one of our top selling discs. So it is a fan favorite. It is a super good disc and loved by many, many people for very good reasons, for very, very good reasons. We are live. Obviously, like I just said, this might be the last time we do this. So if you have a question about the Judge, for me, about what the Judge is similar to, anything like that, get those into the stream, get those into the chat so I can get those answered for you. Save live videos. Not the last live. It's great to interact with the fans who follow you every week. Dusty, we're not, what we're planning, there's still going to be the interaction. All that stuff will still be there, but we might change things around. Don, hopefully we can save the live videos. Maybe what we're planning, what we're thinking, maybe if it doesn't work out, then we can come back to this. But I think people will be very happy. I think it will be bigger and better. So the show won't go away, but the live stream aspect may or may not. It's still kind of in the discussion and planning phase of things. Live videos matter. Good to see you. Hi, Don. Good to see a friend. All right. Back to the Judge. Back on topic here a little bit. The Judge, as you guys can see, let me just move this real quick. It's in, I think Danny and I were talking about this. I think it's available in every one of our plastics except Biofusion. There might be like TFR Biofusion Judges, but I think at some point we've had literally everything else. There's been Fluid, which is out of production now. There was a couple runs of those. There was Air Judges way back in the day. We've obviously got Moonshine Judges, all of the base plastics, Blend, Classic, Soft, Prime. We've got Fusion Burst. We've got the Paige Bjerkes stamps. We've got, here you go, there's a Paige Bjerkes stamp. We've got, let's see here, we've got Prime, like I just said, Lucid. There's the hashtag Team Judge Judges. These are in the Prime Moonshine Burst. Just everything. There's Bottom Stamp Prime Burst Judges. These are for the Junior World Championships. And I have a sneeze coming on, so excuse me if that creeps up. I will do my best here. Hopefully you guys can all hear. I do apologize for that. So yeah, it's in just about every single one of our plastics. I can't think of anything, like I said, aside from Biofusion, but maybe that was like the Air plastics way back in the day. Maybe we had those at some point. Landon says, I need the hashtag Team Judge stamped ones. Landon, there are a bunch of these left. They are listed as the Prime Moonshine Burst Judge Team Stamp, I believe, or Team Judge Stamp. There's a bunch of these on the website. There's also, what is our Team Marshal, Team Warden, and I think there's Team Deputy as well. So if you want to support the team that you're on, check these things out on dynamicdiscs.com. Also, all of the Classic Burst plastics, so Classic, Classic Soft, Classic Blend, all of them are 10% off this week with coupon code JUDGE10, and that is going to run from today. It's already active all the way until, what is that, Christmas? Does it run until the 25th, whatever Tuesday is? Yeah, so Christmas, midnight Christmas Day. So when you guys get those gift cards on Christmas, hopefully you guys are getting some sweet Christmas gifts, or whatever holidays it is that you celebrate. If you get a dynamicdiscs.com gift card and you want to use it on the Judge because you just love it after this episode, all of the Classic plastics are 10% off with the coupon code JUDGE10. So if anyone has questions, like I said in the beginning, get those in and we will get those answered. But like I said, even before that, I do have some clips of me using the Judge. And these are all from, this is a Prime Burst Judge. These were all filmed yesterday over at Peter Pan. Danny and I were filming a starter pack challenge type video where he took one starter pack and I took another, and we battled it out at Peter Pan to see who could shoot better. And this was my first time using the Judge in probably like 3 or 4 years. It was very, I use a Warden, so the flight was pretty similar, but the feel of it was very unfamiliar to me. The Judge has a pretty sizable bead on it, where the Warden is nice and smooth and rounded, which I personally prefer, but there's definitely people that like the bead of the Judge, and I can see why, because I had some really good results As you saw there, those were some putts that I was making with it, and now we're getting into more upshots and drives. This is from the drop zone on the Monkey Island, probably about a 180-foot shot or so. Just let it go nice and smooth, and just glides and then finishes out just left. This is again strong, probably 15-mile-an-hour left to right wind, and I got it over just a hair. And this is actually the time, the hole in the very beginning that I said I'd never birdied before. This is the Peninsula hole. This is my putt for 2. Gosh, to get that on camera, and then you can see I did the most unathletic looking run, slip in the mud, jump, and then slip to hug the basket that anyone has ever seen. So yeah, I was pretty excited to get that, and then ran to go get it out of the bucket, slipped in some mud, jumped, and then slipped landing, and then had to go hug the basket because that was just utterly ridiculous. That's one that I know I've never birdied before, and I think Danny said he's never birdied it before too. So, gosh, crazy to get that one with a disc that I've never used in the last 3 or 4 years on camera was pretty sweet. So Justin says, let's go out with a bang. Justin, we are going out with a bang here for sure with the judge. Anyone else lagging, Dusty asks? Hopefully not. Some people are saying yes, so I hope it's not too bad for you guys. Big time lag. Uh-oh. Hopefully everything's going good. Everything on my end is showing fine. So I do apologize if anyone else is experiencing some lag issues. I do apologize on that. Everything over here on this end is looking good. No lag, Brian says. Okay. So it seems like it might just be a hit or miss issue. So I do apologize for those of you who are experiencing it. Yes, Brian, it was a super nice putt. That is a putt that I have never made before. Yeah, to get that on camera was super nice. Matthew says refresh if it's laggy. Yeah, definitely hit the refresh button probably up there for anyone. Lots of people saying no lag. Okay, perfect. So it seems like it's just a couple people. So we will jump back into this thing here. So like we always like to do here, I want to talk about what's similar from other companies. From Dynamic Discs, obviously, we have the Judge, and then from Westside Discs, the most similar disc, in my opinion, is the Crown. We did the Crown a few weeks back, I do believe. I know we've done video reviews with Coda Hatfield. He loves the Crown. And they're very similar discs. I'll go ahead and show you the profiles here. You can see they're both fairly deep, big bead putters. The Crown is on top there in the pink, and then the white is the Judge. There we go, now it's focusing. Just taking it a second. You can see they both have a deep dish, pretty rounded, smooth dome on the top there, and then a big bead along the bottom. The flight numbers for the Crown are a speed 3, glide 4, turn of 0, and a fade of 1, where the Judge is a speed 2, glide 4, turn 0, and fade of 1. So the only difference is the speed difference. It's a 2 versus a 3. It's just 1 speed different. Not a whole lot of noticeable difference, we'll call it, in terms of speed. I think the Crown might have just a touch more fade on it. I think it just fades out a little bit more, and I think it might have a little bit more glide. So maybe that extra glide gives it that more time to fade out and to finish at the end of its flight. But very similar discs for sure. And then the disc from Latitude that I think is the most similar is going to be the Gauntlet. Now the Gauntlet is almost like, it feels very similar to the Crown to me, but just not quite as much bead. So here we'll go ahead, and again, the Gauntlet is in pink, and the Judge will be the white one on the bottom there. If the camera will focus, hopefully it'll show it. The Gauntlet has a bead and is most definitely a beaded putter, but not quite. It's almost between the beads of a Judge and a Marshall, where the Marshall kind of has that micro bead, and the Judge has a full-on 100% bead. The Gauntlet is like a 75% bead, we'll call it. So I think it's just not quite as overstable, but very straight. Tons of glide, very similar in terms of feel, in terms of flight, just across the board. The only real difference between the Gauntlet and a Judge that I notice is the size of the bead. So if you have any experience with the Crown or the Gauntlet, those are both very similar to the Judge, and I think if you're looking to try something maybe a little bit different in terms of feel, I think those would be super close. give those two away. I wish I could, Don. I wish I could. Let's see if we have any other questions. I'm a disc golf junior, says Trenton. And then Trenton says he's lagging too. So dang it. Sorry, Trenton. Hit the refresh button. It should be working. I just noticed that row says Page's putters. Show them off. Yeah, so yeah, you can't see them right there. It is the, around the shop here, we have every shop employee went through and they picked their favorite drivers, their favorite putters, their favorite mid-ranges, and then they stuck a thing on there so that when customers come in, they can see, like, if they're talking to Noemi and she brings them over to the warrant, they can see that's Noemi's favorite mid-range, or like you see there, Paige's favorite putter. So yeah, they're all over the place. Let's see, we've got, what can I see here? Alan's favorite driver is the Ballista Pro. Scarlett's favorite driver is the Ballista. I know Alex's favorite fairway is the Felon. Noemi's favorite fairway is the Getaway. I think Paige's favorite fairway is the Maverick. It's also my favorite fairway, so you know it's a good disc that way. Calvin says compared to a Shield. I think the Shield is a little bit more overstable, and the Shield is also beadless, where the Judge has a really big bead to it. The Shield, it feels beaded just in terms of how it feels in your hand, but the Shield is in fact beadless. It doesn't quite have a bead on it. It just has that beaded disc stability, and it has kind of a beaded feel, but it is in fact not beadless. Gauntlet is also a very good putter. Yes, Randy, it absolutely is. Is the Fusion Judge now a Paige Bjerkes disc, or is it still being double stamped? Matthew, I believe all of them are coming over with the Paige Bjerkes stamp on it now. I think only that certain run of what we had in stock after she won Worlds was double stamped. So not a forever thing, we'll call it. That's not how they're going to be the entire time. I agree. I beg both the Crown and the Judge. Nice, Landon. So what do they do different? What do you use one for putts and one for drives? I would be curious to see what you do with both of them in your bag. Trenton says, can you give me some throwing tips? Yes, I absolutely can. After this video, type in on the search bar, type in physics of flight, and then click the play all button, and just keep those on repeat until you are feeling good about yourself, because Danny has more of those coming, but they are super in-depth, really, really good form advice, disc golf advice, shot selection advice, why you should throw, what you should throw, and when you should throw it. I think those are, it's a fantastic series, and Danny does a really good job on those. Matthew says, how is it compared to the Atom? Gosh, I have never thrown one of those, and I don't really know about them, so hopefully if anyone in the chat has experience with both, hopefully somebody else can answer that, but unfortunately I have never thrown one. Sorry about that, Matthew. Do you have any of the Halloween themed discs floating around? Do you guys have those every year? Do we have them every year? Yes, I believe we will have something Halloween every year. Do we have any of them floating around? I don't know. I would have to suggest you check the website, and if there are any, I know there was, oh, I forget all of them, but I know there were harps and war horses that had a really cool stamp on it, but I forget all the discs. Just check on dynamicdiscs.com. If you type in Halloween, it should have something for you, whatever's left. Excuse me. The Warden is a little deeper to me, but I love the Warden. Need a Fusion Judge. Yes. So on the website, someone was just asking about the Paige Bjerkes stamped judges. We do have some of the double stamped Paige Bjerkes judges, but we also have non-Paige Bjerkes stamped judges. So why you would want a non-Paige Bjerkes stamped judge, I don't know, but we do have some. We do have some of those, and then we do have some double stamped as well in the Fusion plastic. And then there are, I don't think I grabbed one, but those are Fusion burst judges. There are also just some regular Fusion non-burst judges. So if you are one of those people who like the solid colors, there's a couple of those left as well. I find the Judge turns over too quickly when I use it as a throwing putter. Any recommendations for how much hyzer to put it on? I don't know that I would necessarily agree that the Judge turns over too quickly. It sounds like what's probably happening is you're probably throwing it with some sort of off-axis torque. This is for scope sights. It sounds like you're probably throwing it with some off-axis torque, or you're throwing it on an anhyzer. And the way to tell that would be if it's coming out of your hand, turned over, then you're just releasing it on an anhyzer. And if it's coming out wobbly, then you've got some off-axis torque. And the Judge is actually a really nice disc to work on form like that, to work on your form to eliminate that, I should say, because it will tell you. If you throw it flat, it will go straight for at least 300 feet. If you have the arm for that, it can handle that much power if you throw it smooth and if you throw it clean. But if it comes out with wobble, then it is going to turn over on you. So scope sights, I would recommend working on your form a little bit, seeing if you're coming over on it, seeing if you've got some off-axis wobble, and adjusting accordingly, because otherwise you're going to have to limit your game to only throwing really overstable stuff, and that's just not that's not going to give you the best results, we'll say. I think the Crown is a bit more stable too, Landon says. Yeah, I definitely agree, Landon. I think the Crown just has a little bit more glide and a little bit more stability. Thank you, and also nice putt/birdie, says Trenton. Thank you so much, Trenton. You guys are seeing it there, or you're seeing it a minute ago. I'm just seeing it now. The birdie on the peninsula hole that was a lot of fun. Dusty said he reloaded and now can't comment. I do not have any ideas, Dusty. Maybe sign out and sign back in. That's very strange. I haven't been deleting anything or anything like that, so I don't know why it would do that. Maybe log out and log back in. Hopefully that gets corrected for you. Bursts are so pretty, says Justin. Absolutely. Can you show some of the deputies? I'm team deputies, says Trenton. Unfortunately, they're all the way over there, so I can't go get them right now, but they are all listed on the website if you want to see some. How does it compare to the Challenger, says Hacky. It has been probably close to 6 years since I have even seen a Challenger, but I remember those being kind of like a Marshall, I think. So I would say the Judge has a bigger bead and a little bit more stability than a Challenger, but I could be wrong on that one. That's how the Judge compares to the Marshall, and I believe the Marshall and Challenger are pretty similar. Back online during the drive. Don't worry, carpool. Awesome, Matthew. Hopefully you're going home for the holidays, get to see some family or friends or anything like that. I know I will be leaving on Christmas Day, actually. I will be heading home to visit the family and spend some time back home and then go and visit the grandparents. So it should be a really good time. Hopefully everyone else out there gets to spend time with people they care about and have a great holiday season. Trevor says, what's your favorite Kansas City course? My favorite Kansas City course that I've played would probably be Rosedale, but I've only played a few. The one that I would most like to play would be Waterworks for sure. I'd be very excited and very happy to go and play there. I've heard nothing but good things. Swope was a really good course. I really enjoyed that one the one time I got up there, but unfortunately it's no longer in the ground, so that one can't be my favorite. Is there a plastic that's best for approach? I personally like the Prime or the Blend plastics. They're a little bit softer and they beat up a little bit faster than like a Fusion or a Lucid or something like that. And I find that when they hit the ground, they have less tendency to roll, they have less tendency to skip. And it's just, for me, they give more consistent results. I know some people like to throw the Lucid so they can play for skips. They like to throw the soft so that there's absolutely no skip. But personally, I prefer just a little bit of that ground action so I can account for that, but not so much that it's just a crapshoot and you have no idea. So I would say either the Prime or Blend plastics for me. And then the next question says, thoughts on Prime plastic? There you go, Landon. Just rewind about 10 seconds there. Best approach plastic for the Judge was super soft. There are, or at least there were, a bunch of super soft Judges, and those were super soft. I know our TD extraordinaire, Doug Bierkus, I believe he putts with the super soft Judges. He's very much on Team Judge, and I know he's got a few of those in his bag. Judge versus Shield, I heard they're pretty similar, Tommy asks. I think the Shield is a little bit more overstable. The Judge is very straight to slightly overstable, where the Shield is slightly overstable to straight, if that makes any sense. Trenton, what is all-time favorite disc? Oh gosh, that's a tough question. For me, Trenton, I would probably say the Enforcer. but I know for a lot of people, and a lot of people watching this show right now, it would probably be the Judge. It's one of our more popular discs for sure, and we've had it since the original launch. It was one of the first 4 discs we came out with, so I would say a lot of people's favorite disc would be the Judge for sure. Any plans to bottom stamp burst discs? Love the look of burst without a stamp covering the pretty colors. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pause these clips real quick here, guys. I do apologize, but it's very critical. So you want a bottom stamp burst disc. How about a bottom stamp burst Judge? And it says down there, help support the Junior World Championships, so you can support kids like Trenton that's in the chat, and you get a sweet disc with a bottom stamp. So let's go back to those clips. Sorry about that, everyone. We'll get them rolling again here. There we go. Okay, so back to our regularly scheduled programming. Just purchased an OptoX Saint Pro. Love it. Awesome L. Those are great discs. If we do, I don't see any more questions. Love my Enforcer. I bagged 3 of them. Brian, that's awesome. I too love the Enforcer, and I think I also, I bagged 4 actually. Landon, any giveaways today? Yes, Landon, we are going to be giving away a Moonshine Judge. We do have one of those that will be coming up here in just a bit. And then everyone else, obviously, like we talked about in the beginning, Judge 10 gets you 10% off on all Classic, Classic Soft, and Classic Blend Burst Judges. If you're looking to save some money and get yourself a super sweet disc, that's the way to do it. That would be awesome to have bottom stamp discs. Justin, wouldn't that be awesome to have bottom stamp discs? I think so. All right, so we are going to be giving away this Moonshine Judge here. I do see what DD driver is most similar to a Valkyrie or Thunderbird. Jake, in terms of Valkyrie, I would say the Escape. And then for a Thunderbird from DD, the closest would probably be like a Felon or a Getaway, maybe. Getaway's not quite as overstable. The Felon's a little bit more overstable. The Lucid X Convict is pretty similar as well. And then from Latitude, the Culverin's really close. The Longbowman from Westside, the Fortress from Westside are all kind of in that category. So there's a lot of options for the Thunderbird for sure. Right, Escape, yep. Like Kyle said, the Escape definitely for the Valkyrie for sure. Best plastic to combat rolls down a mountain. You are going to want as soft as you can possibly go. If you want less ground action, you're going to want less. You're going to want more flexibility so that when it hits, it absorbs that and doesn't roll anywhere. I love Fluid too. Yeah, Fluid would be a good option as well. Can you compare to the PA2 from Prodigy? I don't. I have some very limited experience with the PA1 from Prodigy, but not the PA2. The PA1 was kind of like a shield from what I remember, not quite as much glide as a shield. So I would guess if it's anything like that, the PA2 would be pretty similar to a Judge, but not quite as much glide. I'm not 100% sure. Lucid Getaway flies a lot like a Thunderbird. Okay, perfect. And I know there are going to be, since we're talking about the Judge, obviously, Paige Bjerkes throws the Judge a lot. She's got her name on it now. She also will have her name on the Lucid X Getaway coming out next year, which should be a little bit more overstable than the Getaway. So that should be very nice if you're looking for that stable to overstable Getaway. What's your favorite plastic to throw of the Judge off the tee? In terms of a throwing Judge, I would have to say the Fusion Judge for sure. The Moonshine Judge, like this one right here that we're going to give away here in a minute, has a little bit more glide to it, and it just rises a little bit more than is comfortable for me. But these Fusion Judges are not quite as domey. It's a little bit more smooth and feels a lot more comfortable. The Fusion plastic is super grippy, takes forever to beat it up. So I would say in terms of a throwing putter or a throwing Judge, the Fusion Judge would be my choice for sure. What would you compare a Rhino to, Bradley? I would say the Slammer for sure, or the Harp. So if anyone has any questions on the Judge, we will get to those when we are done with the giveaway. I will play the clips again, and then we'll do the giveaway at the end of the clips. But you've got to be paying attention to the clips, all right? You got to be paying attention here. So at the end of these clips here, I make a putt on a hole that I've never gotten a 2 on before, and that was a putt for a 2. So the trivia question, I'll ask it when we get to it, but it's going to involve the very last clip. So you need to be paying attention to a lot of small details here. A lot of small details and a lot of small little tidbits of information are going to be shown. And you're going to have to pay attention, keep a keen eye, and you're also going to want to have been to Emporia before. It helps if you've been to Emporia and you have played courses such as this one. This is Peter Pan here in Emporia. If you have never been, this is what a couple of the holes at Peter Pan look like. But you're going to want to pay attention. Hopefully you've been to Emporia. Hopefully you've played Peter Pan before. We are getting close to it, so I'll go ahead and ask. It is going to be, for the Moonshine Judge, tell me what hole is it that you see me putting? What is the hole that I've never birdied at Peter Pan? This is the clip. So what hole is this? It's a hole I've never birdied before. It's one that is not often birdied because of the shape of the hole. But what hole number is that? It's at Peter Pan, if that helps. Matt says hole 17. We will be letting a few people get the answer correct. I can't give it to the first person, just in case it doesn't show up on my screen. So far, I've only seen a couple people get it right. We're getting lots of answers here. Lots of people coming in, chiming in with numbers. Matt's just going crazy and guessing every number that he possibly can. Unfortunately, he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guesses, and all of them are incorrect. So I appreciate it. Thanks for playing, Matt, but unfortunately those were not correct. A lot of people are copying answers that are not correct. There's a few people that got it right. Few people have gotten it right. So if you are just now joining the stream, I will play the clips one more time here. At the very end, there's a clip of me putting. I want to know what hole number this is. I'll go ahead and I'll play just that clip. But you have to tell me what hole number it is. This is at Peter Pan in Emporia here. You have to tell me the number of that hole. And that winner, whoever gets that right and then gets picked from the correct winners, will win this here Moonshine Judge, the final DG Weekly Live giveaway of 2018. Never been there before, says Randy. Dang it, Randy. I do apologize. That is a bummer. But also, what the heck are you doing, man? You got to come out to a Glass Blown Open. You got to come out. We had Worlds in 2016, Junior Worlds this year, next year, and the year after that. Tons and tons of events and tons of reasons to head out to Emporia. Plenty of great courses. You could have won a Moonshine Judge if you'd been here before. So the clips are over. What hole number was that? That was hole 12, the Peninsula hole. Someone did say Peninsula hole, so I will give them the correct answer for that. So the way that we always do it is we're going to do some math here with the flight numbers. The flight numbers, once again, on the Judge: speed 2, glide of 4, turn of 0, and then a fade of 1. So we're going to go 2 times 4 is 8. Minus 1 is 7, so I'm going to pick the 7th person that I see to correctly guess either Peninsula hole, Island hole, hole 12, anything like that. So I see 1, 2, lots of incorrect answers, unfortunately. 3, 4, 5. Starfire, says Disc Golf Nerd. Unfortunately, no, that's not a number. Sorry about you, boo. I hope people actually listen to Disc Golf Answer Man. There's 6, 7. Okay, I'm going to explain myself then really quick, because it would be weird if I just called him Boo. On Disc Golf Answer Man, he sends in questions under the name Boo. So there, I'm not being weird, I promise. Number 12 I see as Matthew Gayton. Matthew Guyton. So Matthew, please send your shipping information to the Dynamic Discs Facebook page, and I will get this thing shipped off to you ASAP. Everyone else, obviously, as we've said a bunch of times, the coupon code for this week is Judge10. That's going to save you 10% on the Classic, Classic Soft, and Classic Hard Burst Judges. Only stock stamps, and there are the Paige Bierkes Double Stamp Fusion Burst Judges if you'd like to support her. If you're on Team Judge, that there are the Moonshine Burst Team Judge stamps. Pretty much every and any plastic that we make, you can get a Judge in. So thank you all for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Congratulations to Matthew on winning the judge. And this was the final episode. Trenton just started typing numbers. Good try, Trenton. This is the final episode of 2018, possibly the final episode that we're going to be doing live here. So thank you all for tuning into the live streams and keeping this thing going while we were doing it. The show will continue on, but the format will be a little bit different and a little bit changed from what we are used to. So I hope you all have a happy holiday season, a great 2018, and I will see you all in 2019.